What's up, guys, and welcome to a new Five Reasons show that we are calling Take Five, where we can give you quick, instant reactions to NBA, NFL, hockey, boxing, soccer, whatever kind of updates you want. Five Reasons has us pretty plugged in with all the sports. Right now, we're going to be talking some NBA, and I'm here with a very good friend, Brian Fonseca. He is equally minded like me in the off season. We're huge fans, right, Brian? We love the off season. It's one of our favorite events.
Yeah, we also wanted to hurry up and end already so we can get to some actual games.
Uh, I'm a firm believer that the trade machine has ruined society, and so has RJ Barrett, apparently. Just completely removing the trade machine out of a lot of people's lives because he signed a 4 year, $120 million contract, assuming that he makes some of those incentives. Brian, when the news hit, we get a Woj report that actually means something. And RJ Barrett signed a 4 year contract. And what were some of your first interactions, man? Because you're in New York, you're kind of feeling the hustle and bustle on the Twitter timelines from both sides of this.
Immediately, I'm like, okay, Donovan Mitchell's in play for the Heat. But then Ethan Skolnick, who runs this operation over here, basically said, hold on, the Heat sort of plan to run it back and take this current roster to training camp. I'm sure that things can potentially, like, people's minds change or whatever the case may be, but I still feel like the possibility is there. Just it doesn't have to be right now, right? Like maybe the
Right.
situation plays out in Utah a little bit more. We've all thought this, Tony, from for a while that maybe Donovan Mitchell is a move that happens if and when it does, because it's kind of a when at this point. Maybe it's in February instead. The key thing for me is also that while RJ Barrett got 4 years and up to 120 million, Tyler Hero has not gotten his extension yet at the time of this recording. Maybe he will at some point soon. If he does, then that makes the trade situation interesting because RJ Barrett is not somebody who's untradeable, but he's more difficult to trade now because he just signed this extension. And if the Knicks are going to do that Donovan Mitchell deal, it's become a lot more difficult. So I feel like the Heat are in play if and when that does happen. It just doesn't seem like, based on our reporting, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen in the near future. What do you think?
Now, when you break down that RJ contract, it's really 4 years, 110, which seems to be the market for all of these six men kind of 20, 23 point per game scores that came out in that draft class. Jordan Poole, RJ Barrett, Tyler Hero. I think that that number's right in line for Tyler. This extension to me feels like it's coming as we start to gear up and get closer and closer to training camp. I still think they want to see guys playing basketball just to confirm their suspicions about their practice habits and how much progression they've made. But I think that 4 year, 110 million contract extension is coming. And just like with RJ, there are some ceiling implications that equal up to 10, $15 million in that contract. I think Tyler will be looking at something pretty similar.
Yeah, and the last thing of note that I will say is with RJ Barrett and this situation sort of out the way, and I think that the Heat sort of running it back, if we were to call it that, is very
Mm-hmm.
interesting. I also think that if they're going to just see how their roster is and they're willing to do that, it also tells me that Utah has just asked for a lot. As we've seen, not everybody is the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I think the
Nope.
Rudy Gobert trade, if that doesn't happen, maybe even Kevin Durant's on the move, maybe Donovan Mitchell's on the move. But the way Danny Ainge operates, he asked, I'm sure, for too much that the Knicks drew a line in the sand with, because it seemed like, based on the Rose report, that Leon Rose was like, look, I like this is what it was. Like this came from the Knicks side. I'm very confident in that. I'm guessing, but I'm very confident in that. And I think that with Donovan Mitchell, I just think that they're asking for a lot right now. And maybe we play this out and revisit this some point midseason.
Yeah, there's two pieces of that. I think the first one is there's a level of competency that I really didn't expect from the Knicks when handling this kind of framework. And I want to kind of give Leon some praise because I feel like the organization has been going in a different direction than it has been for the last couple of years. Now that's not really hard to do. Okay. Knicks front office has been the bar is pretty low. It's been pretty low.
Yeah.
But I do love the fact that he sat down. There was a framework that was on the table that they were at least discussing around the margins, or, maybe RJ was a piece of it. And I have to imagine that Danny Ainge kept poking and poking and poking and poking. Eventually, you're just not going to overpay for an asset if you're a smart executive. And if Quentin Grimes was a piece too much for Leon Rose, then it was a piece too much. And it kind of, they put themselves in a weird spot, Utah, with how many picks they got for Rudy, thinking they set the market. You got a team that was very desperate for a core piece right now and that wanted to be successful, and it's in Minnesota, so they're going to overpay. You know,
Right.
when you look at Donovan, if you believe reports, last offseason he was shopped at deadline. And now he's being publicly shopped in front of, God, the grass, and your grandmother if she's on Twitter. Everyone and their mom can see this report. You look at that and you got to figure, how long is this guy going to be willing to lead this franchise calmly and before he takes it to the media?
And I would just add, if he would just say Miami, I
Ah.
feel like this might get done, but I don't think it's gonna happen. At least not right now. But look, things change on a dime in the NBA. So, with Eurobasket and FIBA Americas coming up, I'm not sure how much business there's going to be in terms of trade. And then training camp is honestly right around the corner. We're talking
Right.
about 3-4 weeks from now. So if the Heat want to see what they have, like, that's fine. I think that's fine. I still think that they should at minimum flip Duncan Robinson and something for a 4. But if this is it, then we'll see what happens.
All right, man. I really appreciate you coming on, spending some time talking to RJ with me. We're going to be doing a lot of these. I feel like, me and you, going forward.
For sure.
So
Absolutely.
you guys will see our face a lot. We appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, do all the things that we need to do to grow the station, to grow the channel, and to help grow our brands. I'm Tony Schwartz, NBA. That's Brian Fonseca. Brian, where can they find you on Twitter?
At Brian Fonseca, NY, as in New York.
Signing on.